Hello students, I welcome you all for today's class. I hope everybody are doing good. So before we move on to today's class, we'll have a recap of what we learned in the previous class, okay? So first we looked into points and lines, right? So in points and lines, you learned about collinear points, perpendicular lines and concurrent lines, and then we solved problems based on collinear points, perpendicular lines and concurrent lines, right? So in today's class we'll be discussing chapter 6, okay, that is information processing. So in information processing you'll be learning about systematic listing, sudoku, magic triangle and more figures in a figure, and then we'll be solving problems based on systematic listing, sudoku, magic triangle and more figures in a figure. Okay, so what are we going to learn in today's class? We'll be learning about systematic listing, sudoku, magic triangle and more figures in a figure. Okay students, first we'll move on to systematic listing. Okay, consider the example students. There are 2 shorts and 3 shirts. Okay, in how many different combinations can you wear them? So this is the question. There are 2 shorts and 3 shirts. In how many different combinations can you wear them? So at the time you are going to pick one of the shorts and different shirts. Okay, so we'll denote the shorts as A and B. Okay, since there are 2 shorts given over here, let us assume 2 shorts as A and B and 3 shirts as P, Q and R. Okay, understood students? So in the question they have given 2 shorts and 3 shirts. Okay, so we are going to assume the 2 shorts as A and B and 3 shirts as P, Q and R. Okay, so the first combination can be A and P, right? And then A and Q, A and R. And the fourth combination will be the second short, that is B. So B, P, B, Q and B, R. Understood students? So first we are going to take the first short, that is A. Okay, so I'm going to combine A with first shirt, that is P. Again I'm going to compare the first short A with the second shirt Q, and then I'm going to combine the first short A and the third shirt R. Okay, so I'm done with first short. Okay, so I have listed all the possibilities with the first short. Now I'm going to move to the second short, that is B. Okay, so I'm going to combine B with the first shirt, that is P, that is BP. Okay, again I'm going to compare the second short B with second shirt, that is Q, and again I'm going to combine the second short B with third shirt R. Understood students? So these are the combinations of shorts and shirts you can wear. Understood students? So this is systematic listing. So now we'll move on to the definition of systematic listing. So the outcomes for an event can be listed in an organized or systematic way to make sure that none of the possible outcomes is missed out. Okay, so what is systematic listing? The outcomes for an event can be listed in an organized or systematic way to make sure that none of the possible outcomes are missed out. So this is known as systematic listing. Understood students? Now we'll move on to Sudoku. Okay, so you all would have played this in the newspapers, right? Now we'll look into what is Sudoku. Sudoku is a number game. So this is a puzzle where the numbers are partially filled in the form of grid. Okay, so the horizontal lines of cells in the grid are called as rows and vertical lines of cells in the grid are called as columns. Okay, so you are supposed to fill in the remaining blank cells. Understood students? So Sudoku is a number game. Okay, so this is a puzzle in which the numbers are partially filled in grid. Okay, so the horizontal lines of cells in the grid are called as rows and the vertical lines of cells in the grid are called as columns. Okay, and you are supposed to fill in the remaining blank cells. Okay, now we'll see 3 cross 3 Sudoku. Okay, So in 3x3 Sudoku, you can use only the numbers from 1 to 3. Okay. For example, let us take 4x4 Sudoku. In that, you can only use the numbers from 1 to 4. Okay. So this is 3x3 Sudoku, and you are supposed to fill the numbers in the grid. Okay. So the numbers must not be repeated in the rows and columns. Okay, can you see let us take the first horizontal row. Okay, you could see that it is 2, 1 and 3, right? So the numbers are not repeated over there. Similarly, let us take the first vertical column. There it is given 2, 1, 3. Okay, so the sum of 2, 1, 3 is 6, right? Similarly, the sum of 2, 1, 3, that is horizontal row, is also 6, which means that the numbers must not be repeated in a row and column, but their sum must be equal to the same number. Understood, students? The sum of each row and each column must be equal to the same number. You could see that from the first row, the sum is 6. Similarly, from the second row, you could see that 1, 3 and 2, right? The numbers are not repeated over there, and the sum is also 6. Similarly, let us take the third row. It is 3, 2 and 1, right? So the same numbers are not repeated over there, and their sum is also 6, which means that the numbers must not be repeated in same row and same column. Okay, such that their sum must be equal. So you are supposed to arrange the numbers in that order. Okay, so this is about Sudoku, students. So Sudoku is a number game. So the completion with some constraints is best enjoyed in Sudoku. Okay, so this is a puzzle where the numbers will be partially filled in a grid. Okay, so the horizontal lines of cells are called as rows, and the vertical lines of cells are called as columns. Understood, students? Now we'll move on to magic triangle. Okay, so what is a magic triangle? Magic triangle are also very interesting in a similar way. Okay, so magic triangles are also very interesting in a similar way like Sudoku. Okay, so in a magic triangle, the numbers are to be filled without repetition on the sides of a triangle, whereas in Sudoku, similarly, the numbers are to be filled without repetition on the rows and columns, right? Whereas in magic triangle, the numbers are supposed to be filled without repetition on the sides of a triangle. Okay, so that the sum of each side remains the same. Okay, understood, students? So in a magic triangle, the numbers must be filled without repetition on the sides of a triangle, such that their sum of each side remains the same. Okay, so there are 3 sides in a triangle, right? So the left side will be the side 1, the right side will be the side 2, and the down portion will be the side 3. Okay, so you are supposed to fill the numbers without repetitions inside the circle. Okay, so you should fill the numbers on the sides of a triangle, okay, such that their sum remains the same on each side. Okay, so this is one example of a magic triangle. Can you see the numbers are not repeated, right? So on the side 1, you could see 5, 6, 8 and 1. When you add 5, 6, 8 and 1, their sum is 20. Similarly, move to the side 2. The numbers are 5, 2, 4 and 9, right? So when you add 5, 2, 4 and 9, their sum is 20. Similarly, when you add side 3, that is the down part, the numbers are 1, 3, 7 and 9. Their sum is 20, right? So the sum of each side remains the same. Okay, so this is an example of magic triangle. So here they have filled the numbers from 1 to 9. Okay, now we look into an example. Okay, you are supposed to fill up the circles with the numbers from 1 to 6 without repetition, so that each side of the magic triangle adds up to 12. Okay, understood, students? You should fill in the circle with the numbers from 1 to 6. Okay, the numbers must not be repeated such that the each side of a magic triangle adds up to 12. Okay, so you are supposed to fill up the circles from numbers 1 to 6. Understood, students? So step 1 is I am going to place the large numbers at the corners of the triangle. That is 4, 5 and 6. Can you see? I'm gonna place the large numbers at the corners of the triangle. Okay. And the step 2 is I'm going to place the smaller numbers, that is 1, 2 and 3 in the middle of each side. Understood, students? So the first step I have done is I have placed the larger numbers at the corners of the triangle, that is 4, 5 and 6. Okay. And the step 2 I have done is I have placed the smaller numbers, that is 1, 2 and 3 in the middle of each side. Okay. Now let us see the sum of each side. So let us take side 1. When I add 4, 1 and 5, I get the sum 10. So the sum of second side, that is 4, 3 and 6 is 13. Similarly, the sum of third side, 5, 2 and 6 is 13. Could you see the difference in their sums? So side 1 is not equal to side 2 and 3, right? So there is wrong placement of numbers. Okay, that is the first row 4, the second row 1, 3 and the third row 5, 2 and 6. Okay, so there is a wrong placement of number. Now all the total are not the same, right? So we'll try the other way by changing the numbers. Okay, so let us consider this figure. Now could you see the sum of 4, 2, 5? It is 11, right? And the sum of 4, 1, 6 is 11. That is the sum of side 1 is 11 and the sum of side 2 is also 11. Now we'll move to the third side, that is 5, 3 and 6. Okay, so the sum of 5, 3 and 6 is 14. Similarly, here is also the wrong placement of numbers. Could you see the first row 5, the second row 2, 1 and the third row 5, 3 and 6. Okay, so again here is a wrong placement of number since the sum of the three numbers on three sides of a triangle are 11, 11 and 14. Okay, all the total are not the same. So this placement of numbers is incorrect. Okay. Now we'll again try another method of arranging the numbers. Okay, so let us sum the first side. So the sum of 4, 3 and 5 is 12. Can you see? And the sum of the second side 4, 2 and 6 is also 12. We'll move to the third side, that is 5, 1 and 6. That is the sum of 5, 1 and 6 is also 12. Students, can you see over here? The sum of all the three sides of a triangle are equal, right? So the numbers are in correct placement. Okay, so there is a correct placement of numbers. So this is the desired magic triangle. Understood, students? So could you see that the sum of this magic triangle is 12? Okay, so this is how you arrange the numbers in a magic triangle. Okay, so what is a magic triangle? So it is also a puzzle similar to Sudoku. So in a magic triangle, the numbers must be filled without repetition on the sides of a triangle, okay? Such that the sum of each side remains the same. Understood, students? Now we'll move on to more figures in a figure, okay? So consider this example, students. So how many triangles are there in the given figure? So first I'm going to name this as A, B, C and D. Okay, so I'm going to name each triangle as A, B, C and D for my convenience. Okay, so now could you see the triangle A, B, C and D forms four triangles, right? So A is one triangle, B is one triangle, C is one triangle and D is one triangle, right? So D is an inverted triangle. Okay, so when I combine A and D, it doesn't form a triangle, right? So similarly, when I combine B and D, it doesn't form a triangle. Similarly, when I combine C and D, it does not form a triangle. So we have seen that A, B, C and D forms 4 triangles. Okay, so when I combine AD, BD and CD, it doesn't form a triangle. Now I am going to combine ABD. So when I combine ABD, it doesn't form a triangle, right? Similarly, when I combine ADC, it doesn't form a triangle. When I combine BDC also, it doesn't form a triangle. So when I combine A, B, C and D, when I combine everything, it forms one big triangle, right? So when I combine A, B, C and D, it forms a big triangle, right? So total number of triangles in this figure is equal to 4 plus 1, that is 5. Understood, students? So there are 4 triangles over here, that is A, B, C and D, okay? And one single big triangle, okay? That is when I combine A, B, C and D, it forms a big triangle, right? So it is one triangle. So when I add 4 and 1, it becomes 5. Okay, so the total number of triangles in this given figure is 5. Understood, students? So this is how you interpret the number of figures in a given figure. Understood, students? Now we'll move on to problems. So I'll be solving exercise 6.1. Okay, so we'll move on to the first sum. So the question is, suppose you have 2 shorts, one is black and the other one is blue, and 3 shirts which are in white, blue and red. You again wish to make different combinations, but you always want to make sure that the shorts and shirt that you wear are of different colors. Now list and check how many combinations are possible now. Understood, students? So this is the question. You have 2 shorts which is black and blue in color, and you have 3 shirts which are white, blue and red. Okay, so you wish to make different combinations, but you always prefer that shorts and shirts you wear are of different colors. Okay, now you were supposed to list down the combinations that are possible. Okay, so what is given in the question? 2 shorts which are black and blue in color. Okay, so there are 2 shorts which are black and blue in color, and there are 3 shirts which are white, blue and red in color. Okay, so the solution for this question is totally we get 5 different combinations. Okay, that is, the first one is black short and white shirt, the second one is black short and blue shirt, the third one is black short and red shirt, and the fourth one will be blue short and white shirt, and the last one is blue short and red shirt. Okay, so understood, students? Since they have given 2 shorts which are black and blue in color and 3 shirts which are white, blue and red in color. Okay, so totally we get 5 different combinations. Okay, first we'll take the black short. So black short with white shirt, black short with blue shirt, black short with red shirt. Okay, and we'll move to the second short, that is blue short. Okay, so blue short with white shirt, blue short and blue shirt is not possible, since they have told that you are supposed to wear shorts and shirts of different colors. Okay, so therefore blue short and blue shirt cannot be worn. Okay, so the next one will be blue short and red shirt. Understood, students? So totally we get a total of 5 combinations. Okay, now we'll move on to the second sum. You have 2 red and blue blocks. How many different towers can you build that are 4 blocks high using these blocks? List all the possibilities. Okay, so the solution is there are totally 6 different possibilities. That is, so the first one will be red, blue. Okay, and the second combination will be red, blue. And the third one will be blue, red, blue. And the fourth one will be blue, red. And the fifth one will be blue, red. And the last one will be red, blue, red blocks. Okay, so these are the 6 different possible combinations in which you can build a tower using 4 blocks. Okay, that is using 2 red blocks and 2 blue blocks. Understood, students? Now we'll move to the third sum. In the following magic triangle, arrange the numbers from 1 to 6 so that you get the same sum on all its sides. Okay, so here is one magic triangle given and you are supposed to arrange the numbers from 1 to 6. Okay, such that you get the same sum on all its sides. Okay, so the first step is I am going to complete the corners with smaller numbers. Okay, so I'm going to complete the smaller numbers in the corners. Okay, and I'm going to place the larger numbers in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to place the 5 and 6 in the middle, and in the corner I have placed 3 and 2. Okay, and in the middle I am going to place 4. Okay, so when I find the sum of these triangle, the sum of side 1 is 1 5 3, that is 9. Okay, similarly the sum of side 2 is 9, right? And similarly the sum of the side 3 is also 9. So this forms a magic triangle with sum 9. Understood, students? So this is one possible way. You can even try some other ways by arranging the numbers in different position. Okay, so this is one of the possible ways I have arranged the numbers in this magic triangle. You can even try arranging the numbers in different position, getting the same sum on all the three sides. Okay, now we'll move on to the fourth question. Using the numbers from 1 to 9, you are supposed to find out three subdivisions. Okay, so the first one will be, can you form a magic triangle? And the second one is, how many magic triangles can be formed? And the third one is, what are the sums of the sides of the magic triangle? Okay, so there is a magic triangle given and you are supposed to arrange the numbers from 1 to 9. Okay, so okay, I'm going to place the numbers 1, 2 and 3 at the corners. Okay, and I'm going to place the bigger numbers in the middle. Okay, so when I find the sum of side 1, I'll be getting 17. Okay, similarly when I find the sum of side 2, I'll be getting 17, and when I find the sum of side 3, I'll be getting 17. Okay, so the sum of this magic triangle is 17. So the first question is, can you form a magic triangle? Yes, we can form a magic triangle, right? And the second one is, how many magic triangles can be formed? It is 5. Okay, 5 different magic triangles is possible. Okay, with sums 19, 20, 21 and 23. Okay, they are asking what are the sums of the sides of the magic triangle. Okay, so the 5 different sums of the magic triangles are 17, 19, 20, 21 and 23. Understood, students? So I have just explained one possible arrangement of numbers in a magic triangle. Okay, similarly you can form 4 different magic triangles. Okay, including one which I've done, we can form 5 different magic triangles. Understood, students? Now we'll move to the fifth sum. Arrange the odd numbers from 1 to 17 without repetition to get a sum of 30 on each side of the magic triangle. Okay, so you are supposed to arrange the odd numbers from 1 to 17 without repetition in order to get a sum on each side of the triangle. Okay, so the odd numbers between 1 to 17 are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, right? So the step 1 is I'm going to place the smaller numbers 1, 3 and 5 on the corners. Okay, so I have placed the smaller numbers 1, 3 and 5 on the corners. Okay, and the step 2 is I'm going to arrange the another set of small numbers 7, 9 and 11 on each side. So I have arranged 7, 11 and 9 on each side. Okay, and the step 3 is I'm going to arrange the remaining numbers 13, 15, 17 in order to get the total 30. Okay, so this is the arrangement of odd numbers from 1 to 17 in a magic triangle without repetition. Understood, students? So when I add the side 1, that is 1, 17, 7 and 5, I get a sum of 30. Similarly, when I add the side 2, that is 1, 11, 15 and 3, I get a sum of 30. Okay. Similarly, when I add the side 3, that is 5, 39 and 3, I get a sum of 30. Understood, students? So this is how you arrange the numbers in a magic triangle without repetition. Okay, I hope you would have understood, students. Now we'll move to the sixth sum. Put the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in the circles so that each straight line of the three numbers add up to a same total. Okay, so this is the figure given, and you are supposed to arrange the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the circle such that the straight line of three numbers add up to a same total. Okay, so I have arranged the numbers in this order. So when I add 1, 7 and 6, that is a straight line, I get a sum of 14, right? Similarly, when I add the numbers 7, 4 and 3 in a straight line, I get a sum of 14. Likewise, when I add 2, 7 and 5 in a straight line, I get a sum of 14. Okay, so this is the arrangement of numbers from 1 to 7 in the circles such that each straight line of three numbers add up to a same total of 14. Understood, students? Now we'll move to the seventh sum. Place the number 1 to 12 in the 12 circles so that the sum of the numbers in each of the 6 lines of the star is 26. Now use each number from 1 to 12 exactly once. Find more possible ways. Understood, students? So you are supposed to place the numbers from 1 to 12 in the circle such that the sum of the numbers in each of the 6 lines of the star is 26. And you are supposed to use numbers from 1 to 12 exactly once. That is, you are supposed to list down the numbers from 1 to 12 only once. Okay, now you are supposed to find out more possible ways. Okay, so there are many possible ways and I'm going to just explain using one. Okay, so this is the arrangement which I have made. So when you add the numbers in each of the 6 lines of the star, you get a sum of 6. Okay, so when you add 3, 8, 6 and 9, you get a sum of 6. Okay, similarly when you add 1, 5, 11 and 9, you get a sum of 26. Okay, similarly when you add 3, 12, 10 and 1, you get a sum of 26. Likewise when you add 4, 12, 8 and 2, you get a sum of 26. Likewise 4, 10, 5, 7, you get a sum of 26. Okay, so when you add each line, okay, so when you add each of the 6 lines of the star, it is 26. Okay, so this is one possible way of arranging the numbers in order to get the sum 26. Okay, you can even try arranging the numbers at different positions. Okay, now we'll move to the eighth sum. How many triangles are there in each of the following figures? Okay, so you are supposed to write how many triangles are there in each of the following figures. Okay, so these are the 4 figures given in your textbook. Okay, so you are supposed to find out the number of triangles found in each of these figures. Okay, so first let us take the first figure. So I have named the portions as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, for easier counting of triangles in a given figure, I have named the alphabets. Okay, so I have written A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, so the single portions A, B, C and D forms a triangle. Okay, can you see the triangle A, triangle B, triangle C and triangle D. Okay, so each of these four forms four different triangles. Okay, similarly you can take E, F, G, H. Okay, so even E, F, G, H forms four different triangles. Okay, totally there are 8 triangles, right? A forms one triangle, B forms one triangle, C forms one triangle and D forms one triangle. Okay, so the outer portion has 4 different triangles and the inner portion has 4 different triangles, that is E, F, G and H. Okay, so there are 8 triangles. Now taking the combination of E and F. Okay, so when I combine E and F, I get one triangle, right? So when I combine E and F, I get one triangle. Likewise, when I combine G and H, I get another triangle, right? Likewise, when I combine F and G, I get one triangle. When I combine E and H, I get another triangle. So taking the combinations of E, F and F, G and H, E and GH, I get 4 different triangles. Okay, so there are totally 8 plus 4, that is 12 triangles. Understood, students? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H forms 8 different triangles and the combinations of E, F, F, G, G, H and E, H forms another 4 different triangles. So when I add 8 plus 2, I get 12 different triangles. Understood, students? Now I'll move to the second figure. Likewise, I have listed the alphabets for easier listing down of number of triangles. Okay, so when I take the smaller portions A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, it forms 8 different triangles, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H forms 8 different triangles. Now when I combine B, C, D, E, G, F, A, H, I get another 4 different triangles. Okay, now I'm going to combine 4 triangles at a time. That is, I'm going to combine B, C, D, E. Okay, so when I combine B, C, D, E, I get one triangle, right? Likewise, when I combine A, H, G, F, I get another triangle. You can even combine G, F, E, D and C, B, A, H. Okay, I get 2 different triangles. So there are totally 8 plus 4 plus 4 triangles, that is 16 triangles. Understood, students? Now we'll move on to the third subdivision. Okay, so similarly you are supposed to find out the number of triangles in these figures. Okay, so first I have marked the alphabets for my convenience. Okay, so every part A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P forms 16 different triangles. Okay, so when I combine 2 at a time, like A and B, when I combine A and B, it forms one triangle. Similarly, when I combine AD, it forms other triangle. Likewise, CD forms other triangle and BC forms other triangle, right? Similarly, when I combine JK, it forms one triangle. LM, it forms one triangle. NO, it forms one triangle. And PI forms another triangle. Okay, so there are totally 8 different triangles. Okay, so here there are 4 and the outermost part as 4 triangles. Okay, so 4 plus 4 is totally 8. Okay, so now I am going to take the combination of 4 triangles. Okay, so that is when I combine I, J, E and A. Okay, so when I combine I, J, E and A, I get one triangle. When I combine B, K, F, L, I get one triangle. When I combine C, G, M, N, I get another triangle. when I combine DHPO, I get other triangle. Understood, students? When I combine EAIJ, I get one triangle. When I combine BFKL, I get other triangle. When I combine CGMN, I get one triangle. When I combine DHPO, I get another triangles. Okay, so there are totally 4 triangles. So till now, we have found that there are 16 triangles plus 8 triangles plus 4 triangles. Okay, so 16 plus 8 plus 4, which is 28. Okay, so there are totally 28 triangles till now. Now I am going to take 8 parts together. That is, now when I combine ODHPIAEJ, it forms one big triangle, right? Likewise, when I combine NGCMBFLK, I get another big triangle. Likewise, when I combine KJFLBAEI, I get another big triangle. When I combine PDHONGCM, I get another big triangle. Okay, so there are totally 4 triangles. That is, this one will be one triangle, this one will be one triangle, so this one will be one triangle, and this one will be one triangle. Okay, so there are totally 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4, that is 32 triangles. Okay, so this figure has 32 triangles. Understood, students? Okay, now we'll move on to the 4th figure. So I have listed the alphabets. Okay, now taking the smaller triangles into consideration, we have AFB, BFG, BGC, CGH, HCD, DHI, DIE, EIJ, and EGA, AJF. Okay, so totally we have 10 triangles. Now I am going to take the combination of 2 triangles, that is CGD. Okay, that is, I am going to combine CGD, CID, DJE, DHE, EIA, EFA, AGB, AJB, and then BHC and BFC. Okay, so when I combine these 2 triangles, I again have 10 triangles. Now I'm going to combine 3 triangles at a time. Okay, so we have CED, DAE, EBA, ACB, BDC, CEF, DBJ, DBJ, GDA, GDA. Okay, so I have GDA, EBH, okay, so EBH, and ACI. Okay, so these again forms 10 triangles. Okay, so totally we have 13 triangles till now, and the other triangles are BCE. Okay, so BCE, CAD, DBE, ADB, and ACE. Okay, so ACE forms 5 triangles. Okay, so these BCE, CAD, DBE, ADB, and ACE forms 5 triangles. So totally there are 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5. That is, we have 35 triangles in whole. Understood, students? Now I'll move on to the 9th sum. So find the number of dots in the 10th figure of the following patterns. Okay, so observe the first figure. Here we have 1 dot, right? So here we have 3 dots in the third pattern, we have 6 dots. In the fourth pattern we have 10 dots, and in the fifth pattern we have 15 dots. Okay, so the first number has 1 dot, the second number has 1 plus 2, that is 3 dots, the third number has 3 plus 3, 6 dots, and the fourth one has 6 plus 4, 10 dots, and the fifth one has 10 plus 5, 15. So they are asking the number of dots in the 10th figure. Okay, so the sixth number will be having 15 plus 6, that is 21. The seventh pattern will be having 21 plus 7, which is 28. The eighth pattern will have 28 plus 8, 36 dots. The ninth pattern will have 36 plus 9, 45 dots, and the 10th pattern will have 45 plus 10, 55 dots. Okay, so the number of dots in the 10th figure will be 55. Okay, so when you draw and see, you will be getting 55 dots in the 10th figure. Understood, students? So now look at the second figure, students. The number of dots in the first pattern is 1. In the second pattern it is 4. Third pattern it is 9. Fourth pattern it is 16. And in the fifth pattern it is 25. Okay, so the number of dots in the first pattern is 1 into 1. Second pattern is 2 into 2. Third pattern is 3 into 3. The number of dots in the fourth pattern is 4 into 4. And in the fifth pattern it is 5 into 5. So the number of dots in the 10th pattern will be 100. Okay, that is 10 into 10 is 100. Understood, students? When you just work out and see, you will be getting the answer 100 in the 10th figure. Okay, so you will be getting 100 dots in the 10th figure. Okay, now I'll move to the 10th sum. You are supposed to draw the next pattern. So you are supposed to prepare a table for the number of dots used for each pattern, and you are supposed to explain the patterns. Okay, and the fourth one will be, you are supposed to find out the number of dots in the 25th pattern. Okay, so the first one will be, the next pattern is this one. Okay, so in the first pattern there are 2 dots. In the second pattern it is 5 dots, and in the third pattern it is 9 dots. So in the fourth pattern it will be 14 dots. Okay, now we'll move to the second subdivision. Prepare a table for the number of dots used for each pattern. So the first pattern has 2 dots, second pattern has 5 dots, third pattern has 9 dots, fourth has 14, and fifth has 20 dots. Okay, now we'll move on to the third one. Okay, so the third one is, you are supposed to explain the pattern. So the first pattern has 2 number of dots, the second pattern has 2 plus 3, 5 dots, the third pattern has 5 plus 4, that is 9, that is 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9 dots. The fourth pattern has 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is 14 dots. The fifth pattern has 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, that is 20 number of dots. Okay, so this is the explanation of the pattern. Okay, so the fourth one is, find the number of dots in the 25th pattern. So the number of dots in the 25th pattern is 350. Okay, so when you list down the number of dots in this manner, you will be getting the number of dots in the 25th pattern as 350. Okay, so now we'll move on to the 11th sum. Count the number of squares in each of the following figures. Okay, so this is the first figure, and you are supposed to find the number of squares in this figure. Okay, so for easier simplification, I have listed down the numbers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so there are totally 16 different squares. So this is one square, this is one square, third one is one square, fourth one is one square, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Okay, so there are totally 16 squares, and as a whole there are 4 big squares. Okay, so this will be one square, red color one will be one square, yellow one will be one square, and green color will be one square. Okay, so there are totally 20 square, that is 16 plus 4 is equal to 20 numbers of squares. Understood, students? Now we'll move on to the second subdivision, you are supposed to find the number of squares. Okay, so likewise for easy simplification, I have listed down the numbers. Okay, so this will be one square, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the fifth one will be one square, sixth one will be one square, seventh one will be one square, and eighth one will be one square. Okay, so there are totally 8 squares, and we have 2 squares. That is, this one is 1 square and this is 1 square. Okay, so there are totally 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is there are totally 10 numbers of squares. Understood, students? 1, 2, 3, 4 individually makes a small squares. 5, 6, 7, 8 makes another 4 squares. This green color makes 1 square, and the inner part combining 1, 2, 3 and 4 makes another square. Okay, so there are totally 10 numbers of squares. Understood, students? Now we'll move on to the 12th sum. How many circles are there in the following figure? So you are supposed to find the number of circles found in this figure. Okay, so for easy simplification, I have listed down the numbers. Okay, so the pink color one is one circle, the orange is one circle, the blue color is one circle, the red color is one circle, the green color is one circle, and the dark blue is one circle, and the inner yellow color circle is another circle. Okay, so there are totally 7 numbers of circles. Okay, so can you see the pink one is one circle, the orange is the second circle, the light blue is the third circle, red one is the fourth circle, green one is the fifth circle, and the dark blue is the sixth, and the inner yellow color circle is the seventh circle. Okay, so there are totally 7 numbers of circles in this figure. I hope you would have understood, students. Let us move to the last question. Find the minimum number of straight lines used in forming the following figures. Okay, so now we'll move to the first one. You are supposed to find the minimum number of straight lines used in this following figures. Okay, you could see that this will be one line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. Okay, and this will be one sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. So there are minimum of 10 straight lines in this figure. Understood, students? We'll move to the second subdivision in 13th sum. So you are supposed to find the minimum number of straight lines, right? So this will be one straight line, the second straight line, third straight line, fourth straight line. Okay, and this will be the fifth straight line, sixth straight line, 7, 8, and this will be the 9th, 10th, 11, and 12. Okay, so there are totally 12 numbers of straight lines. Okay, so there are minimum of 12 numbers of straight lines. Understood, students? So this will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so there are minimum of 12 numbers of straight lines. Understood, students? So we have completed exercise 6.1. Now I'll do a recap of what we learned in today's class. Okay, so first we looked into systematic listing, right? So what is systematic listing? We saw with the help of an example, right? So the outcomes for an event can be listed in an organized or systematic way to make sure that none of the possible outcomes is missed out. So this is known as systematic listing. Okay, so what is systematic listing? The outcomes for an event can be listed in an organized or systematic way to make sure that none of the possible outcomes are missed out. Okay, so this is systematic listing. And next we moved on to Sudoku, right? So what is Sudoku? It is a number game, right? So it is a puzzle in which the numbers are partially filled in the form of a grid. Okay, so the horizontal lines of cells are called as the rows and the vertical lines of cells are called as the columns. Okay, so you are supposed to fill in the remaining blank cells. Okay, so this is Sudoku. And next we saw a 3x3 Sudoku, right? And next we moved on to magic triangle. So what is a magic triangle? A magic triangle is also like Sudoku. It is also a very interesting game. So in a magic triangle, the numbers are to be filled without repetition on the sides of a triangle, okay? Such that the sum of each sides remains the same, okay? So we saw the pictures of a magic triangle, right? And then we solved an example based on magic triangles, right? And next we moved on to the more figures in a figure. So we looked into an example of more figures in a figure, right? And next we moved on to the problems. That is, we solved exercise 6.1. So there were totally 13 questions in exercise 6.1, right? So that's it for today's class, students. Now it's time for question and answer, okay? So define systematic listing. Yes, the outcomes for an event can be listed in an organized or systematic way to make sure that none of the possible outcomes is missed out. So this is known as systematic listing. Yes, very good. Now we'll move on to the second question. Interpret the sum of the sides of the magic triangle. So this is the figure and you are supposed to find out the sum of the sides of the magic triangle. So when we sum up the sides, the answer is 12. Okay, so the sum of the sides of 1, 2 and 3 is 12. Okay, so the sum of the sides of this magic triangle is 12. Yes, very good. Now I have attached the worksheets for you. Kindly write it in your notebook, okay? Thank you, students.